Hello, everyone. Lee Henson, president and founder of AgileDad here. And on today's edition of the Daily Stand-Up, we'd like to discuss the top 3 organizational issues that we see when we go in to do Agile coaching or to assist with an Agile implementation. So without further ado, let's get started. Coming in at number 3, we often see organizations that really struggle with the delineation and clear outline of roles and responsibilities. While this might seem like a very basic concept, many times we run into situations where many people are being asked to wear multiple hats, or we run into organizations that double up on roles and responsibilities and have certain individuals who are not just serving multiple purposes, but individuals who are serving in roles, for example, like a project manager and a scrum master and a program manager and a release manager and a portfolio manager who are all working together on the same Agile project. It often creates confusion, especially when you consider that they have a product owner, a product manager, and someone who does product governance that is also involved on the project. This may sound very heavyweight and very not well fitted for an Agile implementation. However, what shocks us the most is that these are the same organizations that are bringing in a coach to try to, not change exactly what they're doing, but take what they're doing and slide it into an Agile framework. This is just, trying to do the same exact thing over and over and expecting different results is the definition of insanity, and this is definitely insane. The key here to being successful in overcoming this is recognizing first that there is an issue. One of the things that I ask people is, can you clearly identify, for example, who the product owner really is and who are the key stakeholders? Or who is the business analyst, and do they have their thumb on the pulse of the consumer? Do you have someone who understands strategic awareness and is ready to represent the organization in a way to help them make good strategic decisions? And finally, do you have someone who represents the team in technological feasibility, who understands exactly what we're trying to do and how this product or project is going to fit into our current framework and infrastructure? We need to plan for the future, and we can't be afraid to plan a little ahead, knowing that the changes that we make could impact things, especially here in the near future. Coming in at number 2, this one is a little bigger issue. We find that organizations often have a vision, but they lack strategy. This is one that, once again, sounds pretty basic, but when it comes down to is organizations often will focus on an organizational strategy or a product strategy, but only if they have coaching to do it. The vision is the piece that they master, right? They get the vision down right away. It's just this strategy piece that must accompany the vision that oftentimes is left behind or oftentimes is omitted completely. It's the responsibility of the product owner, the key stakeholders, and leadership in the organization to work together with the Scrum Master to ensure that they have a product vision and strategy as well as an organizational vision and strategy, and that those two tie together. One interesting point here is that oftentimes we discover that the product owner will often be asking or providing us with a what they want and a laundry list of the items that they need, but they're unable to provide the how, which is the technical piece, or the why they need them. What problem are they trying to solve? So one of the things that we often tell people to do with regard to vision and strategy, and this directly ties in with funding, so this may be something that is of interest to any of you who work on that end of the Agile project workflow, is that we often instruct people when someone comes to you with a list of requirements or backlog items or a charter and says, I need these things and I need these things estimated. One of the best things that we can do is say, okay, I can deliver everything that you have here in this list, or we could sit down and take a few minutes and talk about what problem you're trying to solve. What process are you trying to improve? What are you trying to enhance? And oftentimes, not only can I save you money, but I can also make certain that you get exactly what you need and not exactly what you're asking for. There are so many organizations that struggle with this that it just amazes me every day to see that organizations need to focus on both the vision and the strategy in order for them to be successful. And this is one that it really touches my heart, because this is one of the things that AgileDad does so well. We're great at meeting with leadership and meeting with product owners and helping them realize both a vision and a strategy for whatever they're trying to do. Remember, the focus should be on outcome, not output. Finally, coming in at number 1, the ability or inability, I should say, of a product owner to write backlog items or stories that are clearly defined with good acceptance criteria that are easily consumable by the team. It just feels like a mess every time we walk into an organization and we hear the product owners all clamoring to get their work done, and they spin up so many projects in motion and reduce team size and cause stress, and people are working 100 hours a week, or sometimes even more perhaps. I mean, they're just slamming themselves, working from home, working on weekends, working late nights, working in the office, just trying to get everything done because they're spread so thin. We reduced the team size down to 2 or 3, and we're working on things just completely haphazard, and there's just not any clarity. There's just the lack of clarity is what puzzles me the most. I find that organizations should be focused on clarity of the backlog items, making sure they have a good understanding of what they're doing and why they need to do it. But instead, we find that the product owners are just saying, bring me a rock. And we don't know what kind of rock or why they need a rock or what the rock's going to be used for. And that bring a rock mentality needs to go away. It reminds me of the old Monty Python skit where they talk about bring me a shrubbery, right? No one ever knows exactly what type of shrubbery they want, and as they go through several iterations, they eventually get to the point where they have a very nice garden. But it took several iterations to get there, and that's probably a great example of how we can inspect and adapt and apply Agile to, even if we're not sure what someone wants, we can apply Agile just to get to the point where we can provide them with what they need. I hope that this was something that was helpful for you. And once again, these 3 things are easy to overcome, especially with the help of an Agile coach. Now, I don't want it to sound self-serving. AgileDad really does pride ourselves on sending out world-class coaches to help organizations be successful, to help them embrace Agile, and really to help take things to the next level. Don't be bashful if it just requires a shot in the arm. Sometimes even organizations that have existing coaches, whether they be full-time coaches that are hired in or coaches brought in from the outside, many times they'll bring in an AgileDad coach just for a short time to help give them a boost to get over the hump or to help them just embrace these type of things. We use a very humanized, psychology-based approach to help organizations really be successful and embrace true business agility. With that, I'd like to thank you, and as always, remind you, if you want to learn more about how we can help your organization, please feel free to visit AgileDad.com, where you can find lots of other information, lots of helpful documents, and lots of good things going on. Until next time, stay well, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay agile. Take care.